Welcome to episode, I don't even know whatever, of Mindset Monday. Today, we're going to talk about connecting you to your 2022 mantra because I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready. I am ready. New year, new you? Maybe. I don't know. I hear a lot of people saying that. What about new year, let's just embrace who the fuck we already are? How about that? Why do we need to change ourselves? Because we're starting off with a new year. I don't know. So what if instead we embrace, spoiler alert, what if we embrace who we already are in this moment, how we already show up today, what our intentions are right now? Like, how about that? How about that? How about not thinking about, oh, I'll be, successful when, or I'll be good enough when, or I'll be happy enough when, or all of those things. Let's talk about in the here and the now. One of the girls that is part of my mastermind, she made a comment last week and she said, the most important moment is the one that your feet are planted in. And I was like, I love that. I love that analogy of like being mindful. And the only moment that matters is the moment that your feet are planted in. So let's think about you in this moment where your feet are planted and embracing the you that already is. So how many times have you set goals and failed? And by failed, I know that's relative because it's a matter of how you figure out your expectations of yourself, right? So like for me, I always have ridiculously high expectations that 9 times out of 10, I struggle to meet. And then I beat myself up about not being able to have met that goal or expectation or like live up to it. So I get that failure is relative to every person, but how many times have you done that? I am famous for it. I do it all the time. And, what happens? What happens if we're just fine with the way we are? What happens if we show ourselves compassion along the way? When I reflect and I was planning for this and I looked back at my 2021 year, I was like, holy crap, like there was a lot of stuff that happened. I had ups and downs in my business. I went from feeling like a failure to feeling like a success. I went from having a best friend who I thought was a sister to not having her be part of my life anymore. We went through this ridiculous process of buying land that stretched me thin emotionally, physically, financially, everything else, right? And there was just so many roller coaster moments for me. And I say moments because, again, this is relative, right? Like we always have a choice on how we show up and handle things that are thrown at us. Do you spend time focusing on, oh my God, look at all the things that are happening to me? Or do you spend time focusing on what is the silver lining in this and where is the lesson that I'm meant to learn? So, 2021 was, I'm not going to say it was a bad year because it really wasn't. It was a year of awakening and awareness for me. It really allowed me to drop into some things that I have been hiding as part of who I am, and really, getting to the point where the universe is pushing me to own all of it. And I know for a fact that many of you are feeling the same way. And I think 2022 is just going to give us this expansive energy to really drop into our own gifts, our own personal power, and our own transformational process, because I think it's coming. The energy is big behind it. So I want you to take some time. I'm sure you already have, many of you, but take some time and think about, what is really important? What is really important in your life? So there's 3 simple shifts that you can do to be able to drop into this. So first of all, I want you to breathe. Easy. Takes 2 seconds, but take some time for solitude and reflection. That's what I mean by breathe. And gratitude. Let's not forget that one. Connect to yourself and your soul. Like have this come to Jesus moment. Like, what is it that I want? What is it that I'm calling in? How do I want to feel in my body, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all of these things. So breathe and take a moment for reflection and solitude. Trust. I say it's easy. It's a simple shift. Trusting is not always easy though, friends. And I get that, but it is something that if you lean into it and you practice it, you pull that in as part of your 2022, like I will trust myself. I will trust my intuition. I will trust that things are happening for me and not to me. I will trust that everything that the universe is sending in front of me is an opportunity for me to expand, right? Ultimately, that's our point, is to grow. We're human. our evolution requires us to grow. So trust and allow yourself that opportunity to grow. Just see what comes in and run with it. And then of course, the last one, and probably one of the most important, let go. Let go, be like Elsa, let go of the need for control, let go of the fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear, all of those fears that come in. Fear is not necessarily bad. I don't mean that in a bad way. Some fear comes to teach us things, which is totally fine. But the fear that is paralyzing you from allowing yourself to expand or grow or anything like that, that's the fear that you want to get rid of. And let go of anything that's no longer serving your highest or best good. Because friends, you don't need it. I promise you. So as you reflect on 2021, I want you to think about what you want to leave behind. Those are really 3 simple things that you can do to tune in, listen to yourself, figure out some reflection pieces, and think about what you want to leave behind. So I'm going to share with you mine because I want to get a little bit personal here and raw. What am I leaving behind? I'm leaving behind fear. And as much as I have grown, and I'm so proud of myself for the growth that I've had in, really allowing myself to be who I am, there's still been an element of fear of judgment, of like, who do I want to show up as in my business? Who do I want to be known as, like, with this business that I'm growing and nurturing? And so I'm leaving fear and self-doubt and self-criticism in 2021. There is no room for that going forward. Everything from this point on is going to be considered a learning opportunity. I'm also leaving behind lack because, my friends, abundance does not grow in a lack mindset. I can tell you that for free. I don't want to have a lack of trust in myself anymore, and that intuition and the capabilities and my potential. I don't want to have a lack of money mindset anymore. I don't want to have a lack of my abilities anymore. That no longer serves me. That is the stuff that I'm letting go. I'm shedding. It's not for my highest and best good. I'm not bringing it with me into this beautiful 2022 energy that's coming in. Be compassionate to yourself. What did you learn? What did 2022 teach you? I can tell you the things that it taught me were that boundaries are essential. That's why my friendship crumbled. Obviously, it crumbled for the right reasons, but because I stood steadfast in the boundaries that I had set for myself. Same with my business. I've had clients that have come my way and I've turned them away because they were not an energetic match to what I was calling in my business. That is a boundary that I have set. Is it hard to say, no, I don't want your money? Yes, especially when you are, fresh into business and trying to create a sustainable one. It's hard to push money away. But in doing that, I feel like it's announcing to the universe that I am only welcoming the clients that are a 100% ideal match and a hell yes for themselves, right? Because ultimately that's what I'm doing. I am guiding you. I'm not doing the work, you're doing the work, right? So I can guide you, you can pay me to guide you, but if you're not going to commit to yourself, what's the point paying out all kinds of money? I don't know. So boundaries are essential. That was a huge lesson for me in 2021. Another one was listen, and listen deeply. Listen to yourself, listen to your body, right? Your body, your mind, your soul. What is it trying to tell you? Because when you don't listen to yourself, there will be dis-ease that comes to you, whether it's a physical disease in your body, and I don't mean that as cancer or something, but it can manifest itself as a chronic sore throat when you don't speak your truth, or thyroid problems when you don't speak your truth, or things like that. So how is this dis-ease showing up for you? Because you are not listening. Listen deeply to others. I don't know how many times I have just shoved my kids to the side. No, right now, I can't talk right now, honey. I'm trying to do something, right? And push them away. How bad does it feel? When I truly want and need someone's attention and they say I don't have time for you, how bad does that feel? And I have been so guilty of that this year, somewhat out of survival, but somewhat out of, just because I'm not thinking, right? I'm not present in the moment. I'm not present to the needs of the humans that I grew and created and now all of a sudden don't have time for. That doesn't sit well with me. So I am committing to listening deeply to others. Excuse me. And I'm committing deeply to listen to my intuition. Sorry, friends. And that one is huge because I have ignored my intuition for far too long. Whether it is intuition in business decisions, whether it's intuition in choosing friendships, whether it is trusting my intuition in anything. It doesn't matter what it is. I have pushed that nudge for far too long and I'm done with it. So these are the things. Yes, I need to show myself a little bit more compassion when I'm thinking about these things and thinking about what I learned. And, you know, that is something as a people pleaser, we're not used to giving ourselves compassion. We're used to giving that away. And I have been a chronic people pleaser my whole life. So that's still part of my recovery. And I'll put that in quotations because it's a constant learning thing. You have to practice. You have to practice showing yourself compassion. You have to see what it feels like on the inside. And it takes work, right? It doesn't happen overnight. When I've spent, you know, 39, 40 years of my life constantly worried about other people, it's hard to then give that back to yourself. So being compassionate with yourself and saying, yeah, okay, I didn't quite meet what I wanted to do, but you know, I'm on the right track. So good job, self. Let's try again. Pat yourself on the back, right? And the last huge lesson I learned was trust, right? Again, that links to your intuition, it links to the needs, it leads to the feelings. This kind of all goes together, just like I said. Allowing is another huge lesson that came in for me. Allowing myself to be helped. Allowing myself to receive. Again, as a people pleaser, that's something that's really hard to do. Really hard to do because we're so accustomed to giving that receiving is very difficult for us because we then feel like, oh, well, now I'm going to have to do something to make up for the fact that this person gave it to me. It's almost like you're indebted to that person for whatever reason. And, you know, COVID put me on my ass this year. And I had to be in a position to receive because I could not physically get out of my own way to do anything. And I am very thankful that that happened because it allowed me to really think back to what is the most important in my life. And I tell you, it was like, that was my come to Jesus moment, my friends, in 2021, was having be flat out for the best part of a week where I couldn't do anything except exist. Right. And it's amazing because in that moment of being able to receive and being able to just look after me, it allowed me, so allowing things to be shed, allowing limiting beliefs to be shed, allowing expectations to be shed, allowing all of these things that were not serving my highest and best good just to let go. And the last and probably hardest lesson I learned in 2021 was forgiveness without closure. And I know for sure at least one other person has dealt with that this year because we addressed it in the card reading live I did the other day. And, you know, that is a really tough one, friends, because when you have these tight-knit relationships, it doesn't matter how they present themselves. It doesn't matter if it's an intimate relationship or a friendship or something that you've done with your kids. Like maybe it's something that you said that you've regretted, like, you know, and sometimes there's opportunity for closure, but sometimes there's not. And remember that forgiveness piece, friends, it's for your heart and for your best good. It's not for anybody else. And, you know, when you hold on to those things of like, I wish I could have, or I don't understand why this happened, and you're constantly questioning everything in that situation, it's draining. It's draining and it pulls that high vibe and energy down, and that's not where you want to be. So forgiveness helps you release that and let yourself back up into this space where you can vibrate in the energy of abundance and love and gratitude and all the rest of it. So forgive. It's worth it. Now, let's connect you to your 2022 mantra. First of all, what is a mantra? I don't know. This is probably, I would say, a 15-minute activity at most, if you want to try and do it. What is a mantra? It is a Sanskrit word that says a sacred message, text, charm, spell, or counsel. It's often like a repeated phrase or word when you're meditating or things like that. And ironically enough, when I was meditating, that's how I got my word. So it wasn't a word that I had, it was a word that I allowed to come through. When I thought about, you know, when I was doing my reflection piece and I had this beautiful music in my head, in my ears. I always have music in my ears when I meditate, but that's because I am a music person. But I connected to some binaural beats, some happiness frequency. And I just, you know, started thinking about like, how did 2021 go? What were some of these things? What were the lessons? What am I going to leave behind? What do I want to bring with me into 2022? And as I'm thinking about that, that's when my word presented itself. And I'm going to share my word with you today. because I want to give you an example of how empowering choosing a word can be. I know there's a lot of people all over Facebook saying, what's your word for 2022? What's your, and it's like, I've never really had connected. I mean, I have, but not to the level that I did this year. I've never been to a point where I really, really resonated, like mind, body, soul connection to a word before. And, I've had words that I would use to motivate me, but it's never been this like full, like I'm talking like all 7 chakras are in balance and connected to this thing. And like, it consumes all of exactly what I want it to be. So I would encourage you to sit in quiet, breathe, trust, and let go of any expectations or judgment. Do those 3 things while you meditate for a few minutes and see what you come up with. So my word for 2022 is embrace. And I am embracing. Writing it as like an I am statement or I have statement is probably one of the most powerful ways that you can really connect to it and be mindful and present. So if you have a word, share it in the comments below. Let me know. I am embracing my gifts and my calling. I am embracing my physical self as it is in this form right now. I am embracing receiving abundance in all forms. I'm embracing my intuition and where it wants to take me. I am embracing my random ideas because my friends, you would be astounded with how many random ideas I have that I just blow off. And it's amazing what beautiful things transpire from a random thought. So I am going to be embracing those this year. I'm embracing my inner peace and protecting it fiercely with those beautiful boundaries that I've learned how to set. I am embracing gratitude for everything and anything you can imagine. I'm embracing the people who mean the most. And I'm talking a physical friggin' embrace. I am so tired of not getting hugs because I am a hugger. So 2022, look out, friends, because I'm coming at you with arms wide open and I'm going to be wanting some hugs in return. I'm embracing my mental wellness because, friends, if your mindset is not well, the rest of you will not follow. Your mindset is a powerful thing. And that is why I am so passionate about connecting you to your powerful mindset. So that mental wellness piece is so huge because it sets you up for success or it sets you up for failure. And oftentimes your mind is a deciding factor as to whether you fail or whether you grow. I am embracing all the new clients and success coming my way. May they find their way to me. I don't want to have to be chasing people because that does not feel aligned. So I am open to receiving and allowing the right people to enter my space and share that journey together. I'm embracing the fact that it can be easy. And that, my friends, is a big one because that requires a whole lot of trust and a whole lot of surrendering. So that's what I'm doing. I'm calling it in. I am embracing the struggles as they come. Because you know what, with every struggle, there is a silver lining. I don't care how small the silver lining is, you can always find one. And guys, that's key. It's key. When you can pick out the gratitude piece in all of the things that are hardships, it's amazing because that's when you focus in on that, it allows yourself the compassion. It allows yourself some self-confidence. Like, look at what I've lived through. Yeah, this was a horrible situation, but this is this and this and this came out of it. I grew as a person. I made some new connections. I tried something that was out of my comfort zone. It doesn't matter what it is, but you can usually find some beautiful piece amidst the struggle that is something that you can be grateful for. So friends, I challenge you to sit in some kind of meditative state, whatever that looks like for you. Do some reflection about what you have come through in 2021 and what you want to call in for 2022. And I am excited. If any of you feel compelled to share, please do, because I think, allowing ourselves the opportunity to be vulnerable and connecting to this stuff, it's a great way to connect you to your powerful self, but it's a great way to have that support and encouragement from other like-minded people, because friends, like Dr. Jody Carrington says, when you sit with the winner, the conversation is different, right? And so when you surround yourself with people who are on the same frequency, who want the same things, who are focused on growth, expansion, nurturing, like personal power, all of those things, all of you will grow together. So I will leave you with that. I hope you have the most beautiful Monday back after your fantastic holidays, however that looked for you. And I will catch you all on the flip side. I hope you have the most beautiful day. We'll see you again soon.